Welcome back to USA News, your go-to source for the biggest stories and breaking updates from across the United States. If you want to stay ahead of the news, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Let's dive straight into today's top story. Trump allies pursue new path to compensate January 6 defendants after $1.8 billion fund collapses. A controversial plan tied to President Donald Trump may be far from over. Just weeks after the Trump administration backed away from a proposed $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund, a new strategy is emerging, one that could potentially direct millions of taxpayer dollars to Trump supporters, including some individuals involved in the January 6 Capitol riot. Supporters say it's about justice. Critics call it a dangerous precedent. And now, a decades-old federal law is suddenly at the center of one of the most politically explosive debates in Washington. According to new reports, Trump's allies are exploring an alternative route to compensate people they believe were unfairly targeted by the federal government during investigations under the Biden administration. The original plan involved creating a massive compensation fund through a legal settlement connected to Trump's lawsuit against the IRS. However, that proposal faced strong resistance, including from some Republicans, and has effectively been abandoned. But supporters aren't giving up. Instead, attention has shifted to the Federal Tort Claims Act, a law dating back to 1946 that allows individuals to seek compensation from the federal government for alleged wrongdoing by government agencies or employees. Legal experts say this option may actually be more realistic than creating a brand new compensation fund. Under the process, claimants can file administrative complaints seeking damages. If those claims are denied or ignored, lawsuits can follow. In some cases, settlements can even be approved before a judge becomes involved. Hundreds of former January 6 defendants have reportedly already filed claims, and several lawsuits are currently moving through the system. Trump himself has repeatedly argued that many of his supporters were victims of what he describes as government weaponization. In a recent television interview, Trump stated that some of those individuals should be compensated for what they endured. The strategy behind the scenes. Behind closed doors, discussions about compensation have reportedly been taking place for years. Trump allies and conservative legal advocates have examined various ways to provide financial restitution to people they believe were politically targeted. One proposal focuses on accessing the federal government's judgment fund, a long-standing source of money used to pay settlements and judgments against the government. Supporters argue that the system already exists and can legally be used. Critics strongly disagree. Opponents argue that many January 6 prosecutions resulted from criminal conduct that was fully investigated and prosecuted through the courts. They warn that large settlements could create a highly controversial use of public funds. The debate has sparked intense reactions nationwide. Trump supporters say compensation is long overdue and believe many defendants faced unfair treatment, excessive prosecution, or politically motivated investigations. Others view the proposal very differently. Critics argue that rewarding individuals connected to January 6 would send the wrong message and could undermine public trust in the justice system. Legal experts are also divided. Some believe claimants face significant legal hurdles, while others acknowledge that the government has broad authority to settle claims if officials choose to do so. At its core, this story reflects a larger battle over how America remembers one of the most divisive periods in modern political history. For many Americans, January 6 remains a painful chapter. For others, it represents what they see as government overreach. Years later, those competing narratives continue shaping the nation's political landscape, and the fight over compensation may become the next major battleground. The original $1.8 billion fund may be gone, but the effort to compensate Trump's supporters appears far from finished. Whether these claims ultimately succeed, or face rejection in court, could have major consequences for future administrations, government accountability, and the ongoing debate over January 6. One thing is certain. This story is far from over. What do you think? Should former January 6 defendants be eligible for compensation, or would such payments cross a line? Let us know in the comments, and stay tuned for more breaking political news and analysis.